Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. Fences are up around the former Notre Dame des Canadiens church in downtown Worcester. It's slated for demolition soon, but tonight a group hoping to save the structure takes their case to city councilors. Our Cam Jandro joins us with more from tonight's packed city council meeting. Cam?
Anna, the Save Notre Dame Alliance say they had to make one last stand before the church was demolished. Tonight they walked around the city council meeting with these postcards, hoping to stave off the wrecking ball one more time.
Everything around that church has been leveled to the ground twice in the past 50 years. The church could stand for centuries.
Standing room only at Worcester's city council meeting Tuesday as the Save Notre Dame Alliance petitions to save their church. Group spokesperson Ted Connor says they're hoping to gain support from elected officials to keep the church standing.
Support helping to finance such a project, possibly with tax increment financing, tax incentives, maybe some public money.
Purchased by City Square 2 in 2010, Notre Dame is now owned by Hanover Insurance. The building was scheduled for Phase 1 of demolitions this week. Members of the Alliance think saving the church should be part of the city's economic development.
There's a lot of investment going on, a lot of new restaurants and a lot of excitement, a lot of students downtown. We want to give them something beautiful to visit.
Built in 1929, Notre Dame was in service for nearly 80 years, closing in 2007. The Diocese of Worcester citing health and safety reasons, as well as damage beyond repair to the building structure. The Save Notre Dame Alliance is hoping their petition delays Phase 1 and they can give the vacant building new meaning.
We can really sit at the table and have more people, more input and more creative ideas and reach out to others to see if we can make this a really special place.
But you don't have a renaissance by destroying the last historic church on Church Street. Makes no sense whatsoever. Great cities save their great buildings, and this great city should save ours.
Now at the meeting tonight, District 2 City Councilor Candy Merrill-Carlson saying nobody on City Council wants to see the building going down. Also chiming in was City Manager Edward Augustus, who says the city will not give up. Anna?
Thanks, Cam. No vote by the City Council tonight on whether or not to put the Community Preservation Act on Worcester's November ballot. Supporters say it would increase local property taxes for city residents and businesses to fund things like historical resources and housing. Opponents say it's too expensive for taxpayers. Our Rosalind Flaherty has the story.
There's a push to get the City Council to put the Community Preservation Act on the city's November ballot. The act allows communities to raise money by adding a surcharge to real estate taxes. The funds would go towards recreation spaces, historical resources, and housing.
From the historic preservation perspective, that there are lots of properties that really need helping and people need assistance. They want to protect their properties, but they don't have the funds.
A number of organizations support the CPA. Preservation Worcester says the extra money could have helped projects like the Stearns Tavern. The current proposal is for a 1.5% surcharge. The first $100,000 of property value would be exempt, and there would be an exemption for elderly and low-income property owners.
This will have an impact on commercial properties as on residential, but for a small business it would be maybe $50 or $100 a year. It's a small amount to pay for benefits that will help commercial properties, I believe, in the long run.
Gary Vecchio is not in favor of the act. He is the president of the Shrewsbury Street Neighborhood Association and says homeowners and business owners shouldn't have to worry about another tax increase.
I think that we have a lot of other needs in the city, and we should be looking more at the state for additional revenue than putting an additional burden on the already overburdened taxpayers and rentpayers of the city of Worcester.
Vecchio says he has no problem with groups who support the act to go out and collect signatures. He doesn't think the city council should vote to have it on the ballot.
If we're going to hold on to a middle class, if we're going to hold on to the small businesses in Worcester, we can't keep doing this.
Rosalind Flaherty, Worcester News Tonight.
Again, no vote at tonight's City Council meeting. The council is referring it to the city's Finance Committee for a study. A Ware man charged with misleading a police investigation in connection to a family of 4 killed in West Brookfield is expected to be indicted on the charge and heard by a Worcester County grand jury. Matthew Locke appeared in Western Worcester District Court Tuesday for a hearing. Locke is not charged with the murders of Sarah Bermudez and her children at this time, but his case will most likely be moved to Worcester Superior Court. Prosecutors say he told police the husband and father of the murder victims, Moses Bermudez, said the MS-13 gang had ties to the killings. 2 other witnesses say Bermudez did not make those statements. The DA's office has ruled the deaths as homicides. No one has been charged in their murders. Erasing the stigma of autism was just one goal during a talk at the College of the Holy Cross Tuesday. The Office of Disability Services has approached by a first-year student who wants to help community members understand autism is something to be proud of and not to be taken away from those who have it. She, along with an alumni of the college, shared their experiences with autism and what has been helpful as well as not helpful for them at home, in school, and in society.
A good way to diminish stigma, for which there's way too much of that with mental disorders in the first place, and autism in particular, is to talk about it, get people thinking about it and learning more about it and discussing it.
Associate Dean Lipsitz says talks like these are not only important for others with autism, but says it helps those who do not have it understand people who do better. St. Vincent Hospital receiving an A in patient safety. They're the only hospital in the city to earn the rating. The honor is given out by the Leapfrog Group, an organization aiming to improve the quality and safety of hospitals in the U.S. The grade is determined by performance in preventing medical errors, infections, and other harm to patients while in care. The hospital says an A is a testament to their hardworking team.
Between quality and safety, those are our priorities and are exceeding our patients' expectations in terms of service. And the team has done this consistently.
Our nurses are part of the medical team here, the entire team, and play a really big role in making sure that everything we do for our patients is safe.
This is the 9th straight time St. Vincent has received an A. The Leapfrog organization grades more than 2,000 hospitals nationwide. One Worcester bakery has plans to expand its business and create more of a neighborhood feel in downtown Worcester. The owners of Crust Bake Shop are opening a gourmet grocery store next to the bakery on Main Street. The store, North Main Provisions, will focus on wine, cheese, and local produce. Owner Alexis Kelleher says expanding to the 800 square foot space will allow for more seating in their current location.
We kind of got wind of the space next door becoming available, and then the idea kind of flowed from there, and we just thought about all the things that we love, and that centers around food in a lot of ways, and with bread and pastry and coffee here, we thought the other piece of the puzzle that made sense was wine and cheese.
North Main Provisions is expected to open in the middle of May. According to a new study from USA Today, Worcester's poverty line ranks 20th in the nation. The city is hoping to help those in need, making a transition into safe, independent living with new affordable housing units. Our Chandler Walsh has the story.
Worcester East Side CDC unveils new affordable housing on Forbes Street. Executive Director Donna Warshaw says the apartments meet residents' needs with in-unit washers and dryers, bright windows, and outdoor space.
All of the clients are adults with mental or emotional disabilities, so for many of them this is their first step at independent living.
The project includes 8 new single-bedroom units like this one. The housing is in partnership with the Department of Mental Health and offers supportive services for tenants.
There's someone who is coming in on a regular basis, helping them get their budget together and making sure that they know how to keep the house clean. A lot of things that we take for granted because we've never been homeless.
This week, USA Today ranked Worcester in its top 20 list of cities hit hardest by poverty. Worcester's Assistant Chief Development Officer Andy Taylor says the city works to participate in affordable housing projects like this one.
Anytime that we can put dollars into a project and help families that maybe, wouldn't be able to live in the city otherwise, I think it's a great thing.
The city helped fund the project along with other agencies and organizations. Taylor says a mix of housing is important for any city.
You can't just have straight market rate and you can't have straight affordable. So we always look at the opportunity to do these kind of projects.
Warshaw says all of the tenants were once homeless or in shelters and now have a place to call their own.
This is a huge, huge step for most of the individuals that are here.
Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
Voters in Shrewsbury giving the go-ahead for recreational marijuana businesses Monday night. The vote is leaving some residents concerned, while others think it will bring more people and revenue into the town. Our Brittany Schaefer has the story.
Shrewsbury voters decide to allow recreational marijuana shops during Monday night's town hall meeting.
Article 2 put in place a regulatory framework to permit the operation of recreational marijuana facilities and allow 2 retail establishments to operate within the community.
97 people voted in favor and 78 were opposed. In 2016, Shrewsbury voted against a statewide ballot question legalizing recreational marijuana. The change leaving some surprised at last night's vote.
Being a no community and then making a decision to allow these dispensaries to come in, I think it might lead to some friction.
It's sort of like the culture being torn apart one little chip at a time. And we don't need our kids driving around stoned, running people over, and being kind of slow in the head.
It could bring other people in, and we have a great town here.
Town manager Kevin Mizikar says the shops could bring up to $200,000 in added revenue to Shrewsbury.
In addition to the 17% that will be levied by the state, an additional 3% that will come directly to the community.
I think it's going to make a big impact. It's going to definitely be a positive influence, both financially and, physically.
But 15-year Shrewsbury resident John Peel says the cons far outweigh the pros.
And I'm just not a fan of it. I'd rather have them balance the budget in other ways. How about fire a couple people who are overpaid?
Mizikar says the town's next step will be working with interested businesses. Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.